we love food, colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these foods are good for you.
Welcome to Storytime Cooks. I'm Carmen Long, and today we're going to continue to learn about food through books. Our story today is called The Night Before Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day is coming up soon. Let's see what's going to happen in this book. 'Twas the night before Valentine's Day, and all through the town, the children were busy not making a sound. And you can tell it's winter time, and Valentine's Day is February the 14th. And in February, we often have snow, and they do in this story. They gathered their scissors, their glitter and glue, pink and red paper, and paintbrushes too. They're making some fun Valentine's Day cards. They made cards that read, "Will you be mine?" and others that said, "My true Valentine." They trimmed giant hearts with scissors and lace and added an arrow in just the right place. Then, making the envelopes with each friend's name, they hoped that their friends were doing the same because they're hoping they'll get some Valentines back from their friends. And when they were done, they slept snug in their beds with visions of candy hearts dancing in their heads. And there's all kinds of candy hearts up here dancing around in their dreams. The very next morning, it was Valentine's, and they grabbed their cards and went on their way. And they're riding in a big yellow school bus to school, aren't they? The classroom was decked out in red, pink, and white, with balloons and streamers, so festive and bright. That looks like fun. I think their party's going to be nice. Then someone dropped by with a giant bouquet addressed to the teacher, who blushed right away. And a bouquet is like an arrangement of flowers. It looks like she got some pretty red, maybe red roses. The card was signed from a secret admirer, but everyone knew it was Mr. O'Meara. And I think he might be peeking around the door to see if she liked those flowers. The art teacher came and painted kids' faces. She put hearts on their cheeks and other funny places. She put hearts on the ends of their nose. They played pin the heart on the goofy donkey, and they won fun toys, and the girls ran away from kissy-faced boys. They didn't want to get kissed. At last it was time to deliver the cards. Look, one for Lisa and Jim and Bernard. They opened them up and read them and smiled and laughed at others that were totally wild. I think they're having fun. They ate goodies, sweet cherries and grapes, and drank punch with ice cubes and little heart shapes. And just when they thought the party was done, a knock on the door came at 1:15. Who do you think it might be? Oh my goodness, it's a Cupid. When what to their wondering eyes should appear but the principal himself, dressed in Cupid gear, his arrows how golden, his bow curved and tight. The wig that he wore was a comical sight. He has on a yellow curly wig. He is pretty funny looking, isn't he? Those children just really didn't know what to do when their principal showed up looking like that. He even has hearts on his socks and on his tie. He spoke not a word and was gone in a minute, leaving a present behind. Now, what could be in it? And there's a little box there. Does anybody want to guess what might be in that present? They read Cupid's note as he ran down the hall. Happy Valentine's Day to one and to all. See what's in there. He gave them a pet for their classroom. In our story last week, they got fish for their classroom, and this looks like they might have gotten maybe a gerbil or a hamster or maybe a guinea pig. I think it might be a guinea pig. Anyway, they were really excited. Well, today we're going to talk more about red foods. And there's a lot of foods that are red. And we have some of them laying up here. And then there's some on the back of our card. We have strawberries, we have cherries and raspberries, we have red pepper slices, maybe some kidney beans, an apple. But what we're going to use today is a tomato. And some of you might think, I don't know that I really like tomatoes. And some of us might like tomatoes better mixed into other things rather than just by themselves. When we think about all of these different foods, remember that these are the foods that grow in our gardens or in our yards or in a field somewhere. We have strawberries growing on a plant. Where do you think these apples would grow? That's right, they grow on a tree. But this tomato that we're going to use, they actually are growing in a field somewhere on a plant. These tomatoes here are still green. They haven't turned red yet. But we're going to use bright red tomatoes to make something that I really like. We're going to make pizza sauce. And some of you might not think about that a tomato is part of pizza, but if you put sauce on your pizza, that's exactly what it comes from. So we're going to use some tomato paste, and tomato paste is basically tomatoes that have been cooked enough that a lot of the water's gone, so it's really, really thick. So we're going to add some water back to our tomato paste to make it be a little bit thinner, and we're going to stir that up, and then we're going to add some olive oil to our sauce. And that's going to make it taste really good. And then we're going to add some seasonings to that to spice it up a little bit. Now when we're cooking, it's always important that we wash our hands. Since we're not going to touch any of the things today, we're just going to put on a pair of gloves just so I don't get tomato sauce or pizza sauce all over me. But we're going to stir this up, and then we're going to add some seasonings to it. Most of the sauces that you buy in the store have a lot of added sodium, which is salt, along with some other things. And it's okay to put some salt in there and some pepper. And families, if you have children that like to help, it's always a fun idea to maybe let them do some things. So if you have a grinder, you could actually grind some salt and pepper to add to that. I've already measured out some salt and pepper that we're going to add. And we also are going to put in some garlic powder. And then we're going to add some oregano to that as well. And we're going to put in a tablespoon of oregano. This oregano actually came in the Latino food section at the grocery store. Sometimes it's cheaper there than in the baking aisle where all the other spices are. So look around and see where you can get the best deals on your spices. This particular sauce works well if you make it ahead of time and let it sit for a while to allow the flavors to blend. And then you can just store that in a glass container in your refrigerator and you're ready to go. You could put that sauce on homemade pizza crust. You could even make it be heart-shaped for Valentine's. That would be fun. Or you could use something easy like an English muffin or a pita bread if you wanted to do a quick and easy pizza. Don't forget to add lots of vegetables and some delicious cheese on top, and you'll have a really easy, delicious snack, not just for Valentine's, but for any time during the year. I hope you've enjoyed this segment of Storytime Cooks, where we continue to learn about food through books. Come back and join us again next week.
we love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these foods